It happened yesterday, and even now, I feel a weight on my chest that I can't describe. I woke up several times during the night, my face sweaty, reliving that scene as if it were a nightmare that refuses to leave me alone. My younger sister, Emma, is 26 years old. She's always been the star of the family. Beautiful, charismatic, determined. Ever since we were kids, she was the one who got what she wanted, with a charming smile and that infallible mix of intelligence and charm. Not that I envied her. Well, maybe a little. But the love I feel for her always spoke louder. For the past 3 years, she'd been dating Jake, a kind, steady guy with that kind of quiet presence that wins you over slowly. We all knew he was the one. My father, who rarely compliments anyone, even called Jake the one to be trusted. A miracle coming from him. At every family gathering, someone would inevitably make jokes about when the proposal would come. Emma would laugh and look away, and Jake would smile as if hiding a secret. And then our mother's birthday dinner arrived. The restaurant we chose was one of those elegant, classic places with low lighting and waiters who seemed to float. I was excited, for the celebration, of course, but also because something inside me knew it was that night. Emma looked beautiful, in a burgundy dress that highlighted her pale skin and intense brown eyes. Jake looked nervous. It was obvious. He wiped his hands on his napkin more often than usual. Even our mother, who barely notices when we change our hairstyles, commented that something was in the air. That night, I wasn't just a spectator. I felt like I was part of something big. After all, she was my sister. I had grown up with her, shared secrets, clothes, fights, and now I was allowed to witness one of the greatest moments of her life. I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted to be there, close by, a part of it. But, as I learned the hard way, wanting to be a part of it sometimes makes us cross boundaries without realizing it. And it all started with a simple, silly thought, a miscalculated emotion, and a voice that was louder than it should have been. Dinner began with the kind of lightness that only a family that knows each other well can have. Laughter, inside jokes, exaggerated toasts, everything was in place. Mom beamed proudly as everyone talked about the food, the decorations, and of course, how she still managed to look younger than her daughters. Emma looked stunning, but also restless. Her eyes kept searching Jake's as if silently asking, "Is this it?" Jake, on the other hand, was in a different kind of anxiety. He was present, but he seemed to be rehearsing every move, every word. His smile trembled a little at the corners, and the wine glass in his hand wobbled slightly. I watched this with a mixture of anticipation and tenderness. I knew it. This was going to happen there, that night. It was inevitable. The silent tension between the two of them was almost visible. Then, the moment came. Between the main course and dessert, Jake stood up. Everyone stopped talking almost immediately, as if following an invisible choreography. He picked up his wine glass, tapped it lightly with the knife, and began to speak. His voice was thick with emotion. He spoke of our mother, of family, of the importance of being together, but his eyes never left Emma's. The words flowed hesitantly, and everyone's heart at the table seemed to beat in time with his. Emma put her hand over her mouth when she noticed. A sparkle appeared in her eyes, a mix of shock, joy, and raw emotion. She barely blinked. Sitting 2 seats away, I felt my own heart race. It was beautiful, it was cinematic, and it was inevitable. He took a small box from the inside pocket of his blazer. He opened it. There was a ring. A diamond. Perfect. He got down on one knee, and then I ruined everything. I don't know what came over me, I swear. I was so cut up, so touched, that when I saw Jake get down on one knee, I couldn't contain myself. I really thought it would be funny, lighthearted, like in the movies. So I blurted out, "Finally!" Not a whisper, not a quiet utterance, but a scream, almost a shout that echoed through the entire restaurant like a misplaced siren. The silence, was instantaneous, shocking, as if someone had turned off the sound of the entire world. All eyes turned to me. Even the waiters froze. And in that frozen second, the ring slipped from Jake's hand. I saw it happen in slow motion. The box tipped over, the ring jumped and fell, clinking on the marble floor as if mocking us all.
Emma blushed, not with emotion, but with embarrassment, with anger, disappointment. Her eyes widened and she stared at me as if she didn't recognize me. Jake stuttered, bent over to pick up the ring. He nearly hit his head on the table. Mom put her hand on her chest. Someone in the background chuckled. The moment was gone, evaporated. The air was heavy now, full of awkwardness and tension. I wanted to disappear. My face burned. I tried to smile, but no one smiled back. Emma looked at Jake and whispered something. He tried to compose himself and asked, his voice trembling, "Will you marry me?" Emma, still shaken, answered yes, but there was no emotion in her voice. There was no sparkle in her eyes. It was as if she were saying yes to a business appointment, not to a childhood dream. I had stolen that moment, and everyone knew it. After dinner, the silence was deafening. Dessert arrived, but no one touched it. The wine lost its flavor. The once warm atmosphere had turned into a bubble of cold formality. Mom tried to lighten the mood with a toast, but her glass was shaking. Jake remained silent. Emma kept a forced smile on her lips, but her eyes didn't lie. And I was trapped inside myself, swallowing shame like a slow poison. In the car, on the way home, I tried to talk to Emma. She completely ignored me. When we were finally alone, I tried to justify myself, tried to laugh it off, but she glared at me in a way that hurt more than any words. "You turned my moment into a joke, and worse, into a joke about you." She said it quietly, but each syllable pierced me like a blade. It was my request, my moment, and you screamed. You made everything revolve around you, like always. That last part hit me strangely. Like always? Was this what she thought of me? At home, I went to my room, but I couldn't sleep. My phone buzzed with messages from my family, some trying to be kind, others making it clear that I had crossed the line. Jake didn't say anything directly, but his silence was loud. Emma left my messages unanswered. I felt like an intruder on something sacred. It wasn't just a mistake. It was an emotional betrayal, even if I didn't mean to. The next day, I tried to find her. I knocked on her door, brought flowers, even a card where I wrote everything I couldn't say out loud, but no one opened it. Later, Mom called me. Her voice was firm. She said Emma needed space. She said I needed to reflect. For the first time, I felt like my own family saw me as a problem. Reflect. I had been doing it since the second I screamed. I went over every detail in my head, searching for the exact point where my emotion turned into ego. Because yes, she was right. I had made it about me. I wanted to be part of the moment, but I ended up taking over the stage. And the more I thought about it, the more I saw beyond the episode. How many other times had I done this? How many times has my enthusiasm become noise in other people's lives? The pain of losing Emma's trust was indescribable. We had always had our differences, but we were inseparable. We shared memories, fears, childhood jokes. And now, because of a few impulsive seconds, that bond was in tatters. Shame is a prison without bars. I would see the photos of the dinner on social media, of course, without me, and feel like I had died there. Deep down, I knew that apologizing was not enough. The question that tortured me was, will she ever forgive me? There is no undo button. There is no go back in real life. And even if there were, I don't know if I would have enough wisdom to use it well. What I did was not a comical mistake. It was a failure of empathy. I understood that when I found myself crying alone in the bathroom at 3 in the morning, holding my phone, looking at our last photo together from months ago. Since then, I have avoided mirrors. I can't bear to look at myself without remembering that moment. And the worst part of it all, I really love her. It wasn't envy. It wasn't bad intentions. It was unbridled enthusiasm. It was that naive desire to share in someone else's happiness, but with the immaturity of someone who never learned to contain herself. I learned the hard way that not all love is manifested with presence. Sometimes love is knowing how to step aside. It's giving space. It's understanding that it's not about you. And maybe, if Emma ever decides to forgive me, I'll have the chance to show that I've learned. But until then, I'm here, waiting, carrying her silence as a constant reminder that even the most well-intentioned gestures can hurt. Maybe forgiveness will come. Maybe it won't. But something in me changed forever that night. And as much as it hurts, maybe that was what I needed to truly grow.